Alrighty, welcome back to the Motion Podcast. This is Miles and this is my second ever episode. Today, we're going to be diving into self-doubt and how to navigate self-doubt. Everyone feels self-doubt, but it's the ones that don't let it control them that achieve great things. And today, I'm going to be talking about how I deal with self-doubt and how you can possibly navigate your own self-doubt. Hope you enjoyed the episode. So, self-doubt. Everyone feels self-doubt. I feel self-doubt and I let it control me in my life for a very long period of time. So this is why I think it is a very important thing to come on here and talk about, because I believe everyone struggles with it, but it's just learning how to deal with it. So what is self-doubt? Self-doubt is essentially when you are negatively talking to yourself about a situation or what is happening in your life or a goal you want to achieve. You're telling yourself that you can't do it based on a certain circumstance or based on who you actually are and what your capabilities are. It is essentially tied to low confidence, but everyone feels self-doubt. It is just a form of anxiety, I would say, and how you talk to yourself and your relationship with yourself. The first thing I would like to talk about when it comes to it is realizing that it is, as simple as it sounds, it's not real. It's just a perception in your head. That's all self-doubt is. Self-doubt is you telling yourself a situation before it's ever happened, or you telling yourself the worst situation that could happen out of what goal you're trying to chase. So say you are, you want to open up a business and you're going to now tell yourself, I can't do that. Or if I open this up, everyone's going to make fun of me. Everyone's going to look at me like I'm an idiot and I'm never going to be able to do this because I'm not smart enough like these other people. That is self-doubt. And I'm sure it's something that everyone else has felt, whether that is standing up in front of a classroom, having to do a speech, you're doubting yourself, telling yourself that you're not going to be able to speak properly when you do it all day, every day anyway. So what's the difference between doing it in front of 10 people and doing it to your group of mates that are 5 people? But those 10 people that you don't know, it makes you scared because you doubt your ability to be able to talk. So it is something that a lot of people struggle with. But if you look at it in that context, like really, that's proving to you that it is just a perception. It's bullshit. It's not real. And you can control self-doubt if you choose to. And in my opinion, if you are disciplined in areas of your life, like the gym and other stuff like that, this is where you can navigate self-doubt, because if you are consistent and disciplined at something, it'll teach you that you can do it. It just takes time. Or that if you stick to something for long enough, you will achieve it. It just takes time and discipline. You just need to build that relationship with yourself. If you've never done anything that's, I'd say if you've never done anything that you think is a high accomplishment or something like that, you're probably going to doubt yourself. And a bad way to look at self-doubt is thinking, once I'm here, I'm not going to doubt myself, because quite frankly, everyone does. All the top entrepreneurs or actresses and stuff, like, you don't think that they doubt themselves before they get on a set for, say, a movie like Avengers or Stranger Things. Like, no shit, they're going to sit there and be like, oh my God, I need to perform today. This is a big scene. Like, obviously they're going to doubt themselves, but they don't let it control them. They know that it's a little voice in their head that is not real. They just have to do what they know they're good at and have confidence in themselves and believe in what they're doing and what their ability is as a human being to achieve that or get that result that they want. And the more you let self-doubt control you, the more it will take over your life. So if you sit here day in and day out and the stuff you want to do and you don't do it because you let self-doubt control you, then the more you do that, it's like a habit. You're building this habit of listening to self-doubt and giving into self-doubt. So essentially, it's just going to get worse and keep getting worse. It's never going to get better unless you try to fix it. Unless you try to do something about it, it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. And some people get so bad that they just result to sitting in their room all day playing video games because they don't have to face that self-doubt when it comes to anything in life. Like, they're so scared of going to get a job because of what people think or what people might say, or they might not think they're good enough. Like, there's a lot of avenues that self-doubt will control you and your life. Like, it's just on different levels for different people. But like I said, back to the school thing, it's a proven point. It's just bullshit. It's not real. Like, it's just it's just a fake perception in your head. Like, you're telling me that you can talk to your group of friends of 10, 12 people, whatever, and you're fine. But then you get put in front of 10, 12 people you don't know, and now all of a sudden you're shitting yourself and you're nervous and you're doubting yourself in a way that requires you to just speak, which you do it every day. So why would you not be able to speak in front of people? You know what I mean? And it just applies to everything. But I guess it's also being okay with failing, understanding that failure is not bad, and understanding that that's how you learn. Don't be so afraid to fail, or don't be so afraid to get made fun of or looked at as like a weirdo or an idiot, because that is another way that self-doubt, I guess, or low confidence, I guess, will control your life. And I always look at it as like, if I don't try, I'll never know. So why would I let a voice inside of my head control me? That's how I look at it, as like, I'm literally going to let this voice that doesn't even exist control me. It's just my brain. Humans naturally navigate to the more comfortable environment. So your brain is going to play tricks on you and do stuff to you to make you stay in a more comfortable and stable environment. That's what humans crave. They crave like comfortability and stuff, but that's not where growth is. And usually your brain will use self-doubt or tactics like anxiety and stuff like this to, I don't know, I'd say essentially keep you in this spot where you are safe and you don't have to worry and you don't have to stress. But then when you do that, you end up stressing about not doing anything, and then it just ends up in being this snowball effect anyway, of when you're stressing and you think the less you do, the more self-doubt will control you, and the more self-doubt you will have because you've done nothing, you've accomplished nothing. And that's where, as stupid as it sounds, that's where I think running has really done a lot for me, because when I first started running, I was never fucking quick, never fast at school, never done anything like that. And I was like, I'm just going to start running. And I doubted myself a lot when it came to running or physical activity, especially with the gym as well. Like, I was always a fat kid growing up, and I was like, I'm never going to be fit. And then I just stuck to something, disciplined myself in an area of life, which is physical fitness, and realized like, oh shit, never mind. Like, I actually can do this. I just need to do it and face this self-doubt head on. Like, you don't think you're going to doubt yourself doing something for the first time every time you do it. The first time you launch a business, you're going to doubt yourself because you have nothing. You have nothing to combat that self-doubt with. You have no results to combat that with. Whereas like someone that's been going to the gym or something, or someone that's owned a business for 3, 4, 5 years, they're not going to get nervous or doubt themselves anymore because they've ran a business for 5 years, or they've went to the gym for 5 years. So they're not going to be scared going into the gym or doubt themselves going into the gym, that people are either going to look at them, or that they don't know what they're doing, or they're scared their business doesn't work, or they think they're going to fail or something like that, because they've dealt with those emotions and those feelings and those anxiety attacks that your brain will use to keep them in this little spot. They've dealt with that in that area of life. And it'll apply to everything. Like, you can become as physically fit as you want, but if you don't push your life in a context of outside of physicality, like mentally, when it comes to like, I don't know, say work, or doing stuff in your job that scares you, like trying to get a promotion, or going for like a manager role, or even opening a business, if you don't do them kinds of things in that area of life, then you will have self-doubt in those areas of life because you've never proven to yourself that you can do it. So therefore you have nothing to combat it, your self-doubt with. And like I said, back to the running, I had a lot of self-doubt when I started running, and same with the gym, but I stayed consistent with it. And now I have no self-doubt with running or the gym because I've been doing it for long enough. So I've got results to back it up and be like, and if I hear the self-doubt of like, oh my God, can I actually run this 10K at this time? Or can I actually run this 5K at this time? Like, well, I've done it close before, so I'm pretty fucking darn close. So I'd imagine I can do something close to it. Whereas if you've never ran 5Ks, you're going to be like, oh my God, can I run 5Ks? I've never even ran before. Like, oh my God, like you're going to get so much more overwhelmed in that area of life. If this makes sense, I hope this makes sense to someone. Or Essentially, same with like, say if you're going for a PB in the gym, you go for a 100 kilo bench press. If you benched 95 kilos before, your self-doubt level when it comes to benching 100 kilos would be a lot less than someone that's never benched 80 kilos before. You see what I mean? So the more you do something and face self-doubt and these, I guess anxieties head on, the less it's going to control your life. And the more confidence and awareness and I'd say like self-belief you're going to get because you're facing them head on and you get the results. And that is like, you have nothing to be scared of. You know what I mean? Like you have nothing to be scared of. If you just do it, you're not going to die. You're still going to live. People take life way too seriously. Like they think that they almost go into this panic where they think everything is like a life or death situation. Like they're going to die if they fail with this thing, or they're going to die if they step outside their comfort zone. Because that's what their brain's telling them. Like, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do this. And they start getting into this big anxiety attack over nothing. Over something that if you just zoomed out a little bit and looked at it and been like, okay, I talk in front of my friends, which is a group of 10 every single day. Now I have to talk in front of a group of 10 people that I don't know. What the fuck's the difference? Why am I nervous? Why am I doubting myself? Why am I so scared? Or anything in that realm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just I guess an easy point that everyone is going to relate to, because I believe that everyone has probably felt that sort of self-doubt when you have to do some fucking stupid project at school or something. But yeah, like you just need to learn to face it head on. And a big thing that holds people back is self-doubt. I think that your fears are your limits in life. Where you're scared to go is where you will stop, is where you will stop growing. Like when you are afraid to take the next step, that is where you're going to see it. Indecision is worse than taking a decision. Indecision, you are stagnant. You're not moving. You're just sitting there thinking about taking a decision. If you take a decision, you've taken a step. Whether it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. You take the right step, you move forward. You take the wrong step, guess what, mate? You're in the same fucking position, but you just learnt something. Now you go again. Fail again. Cool. Same position, you just learned something again. Now you go again. And it works out. There we go. So now you've just moved forward, learnt two things about this situation that you're in, and the person that sat there being indecisive because they've got so much self-doubt about themselves is now in the exact same spot with nothing that they've learned and probably more self-doubt and more anxiety about what they want to do. So I think, not that I'm like, I'd say a master in this shit, but I think that I've dealt with my fair share of self-doubt, and I still do deal with it all the time when it comes to motion. But then I just zoom out and be like, what are you scared of, mate? You're on a fucking floating rock in the middle of the space. What do you have to be scared of? All you need to survive is food and water. Like, the world isn't gonna end if this doesn't work out, or if this doesn't happen, or if you don't get this outcome. So just relax, work hard, do everything you can. If it doesn't work out, you're just gonna learn. It's finding how do you say it? It's finding comfort in failing and knowing that it's going to be okay, and knowing that if something doesn't go to plan, then it's all good. And another reason why people will self-doubt themselves so much is because they've got such a big ego that they're so afraid of letting their ego get hurt that they won't do something. That's a very big thing. Like, they think like, oh my God, if I tried this and this didn't work out, this would be so embarrassing. That is your ego. That's your ego in the way, telling you something about if you fail, you putting an expectation of yourself that if you fail this, then you are a loser. You're labeling yourself as a loser, or you're fucking weird or dumb because you failed something. That's another thing that will hold people back and contribute to more self-doubt. So it's just learning to understand when you have self-doubt, feeling the feelings, knowing what it is, why it's happening, and then just not letting it control you. So if you are sitting there and you want to open this business or something like that, or you want to go to the gym, but you're so scared to go to the gym because of what people will think, or you're so scared to start this business, just zoom out. Just literally take 2 seconds, just zoom out and be like, what am I scared of? Okay, cool. I'm scared that everyone around me thinks I'm weird for opening a business or thinks that I'm crazy for opening a business. Okay, cool. If everyone thinks that, is your life going to change? Are you going to not wake up tomorrow? No, you're still going to be here. Everything is going to be okay. So you have nothing to worry about when it comes to stuff like that. You need to zoom out of your situation. Like really just take a step back and just look at what the cards you have been dealt with and be like, okay, cool. Like me. Oh my God. First launch. Oh my God, I'm so scared. Like what if people don't buy it? Let me just zoom out. Wait, hold on. If people don't buy it, we have data. Why didn't people buy it? What happened? What did we do wrong? Okay, cool. So if we don't launch this product, I'm now going to stay in the same spot as I was before. I'm not going to learn anything. And I'm just going to sit there with the rest of my life thinking about what if I just did that launch? Or what if I just did that thing? So I just zoomed out because obviously I felt these feelings when I was launching Motion. Zoomed out and just been like, so what's the worst that happens? Oh, I only get a few sales. Okay, cool. Why did you only get a few sales? Let's look at why you only got a few sales. Oh, you only got a few sales because your marketing was shit or people didn't resonate with your product. Okay, cool. Next time, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to focus on. So it's a win-win either way. Self-doubt is telling yourself something that hasn't even happened. You're sitting here like essentially making yourself believe you're in a scenario that hasn't happened. And then the more you think about it, the more you stress about it, the worse it's going to get. The more doubtful thoughts are going to come in your brain. You just need to learn to not let it control you. And that's why I think being physically fit and going to the gym, like I said, back to the running thing and going to the gym, it's such a cheat code, man. Like it's just like, because you can constantly prove to yourself every single day that if you show up for something consistently every day, you will get better at it. And you have a visual representation of that. So you find comfort in that. I find comfort in that. And if you have motion every day towards something, whether that's the gym, which I reckon is the best starter place if someone is really struggling with self-doubt, go to the gym, be consistent, and I promise you, you will slowly deteriorate that self-doubt in most aspects of your life. At least you have some sort of proof of like, okay, I was overweight or I was very skinny, but I stayed consistent at something and now I look this way and now I've done something with my body that's visually, it's physical. You can see it. You can see like a visual representation of hard work and what you've done. So therefore, you know, if like, okay, well, I doubted myself before I went to the gym and now I look like this, or now I run this fast, or now I don't know, swim this fast or whatever it is you do. But when I first started this, whether it was swimming, running or whatever, gym, I was nervous. I doubted myself. I didn't think I would be able to do it, but now I have done it. So at least in some sort of aspect, if you go to the gym and you just eat correctly and you train, you are guaranteed the results. There is no if, buts and maybes. It will happen. So at least you've got something in your life where you can look at and be like, almost like find validation within yourself through it. Because that's what I use. I don't know if this is something that people are going to bag on and be like, oh, that's stupid. You shouldn't do that. Like, you need to find validation through other things, not just the gym. But it's like, I don't solely validate myself through the gym, but it fucking helps. The way that I look fucking helps my self-confidence. Me showing up every day fucking helps my self-confidence and helps me deal with self-doubt because I know I've got a visual representation of I show up every day and I look the way I look and I like the way I look because of what I do every day. Okay, if I want to say, live a life that I want, if I show up every day to essentially get to that life that I want, I'm going to get it because I've done it with my physical body. Why can't I do it with my life and in general? So that's how I look at it. And that's why I guess, like, I don't know, the slogan of our brand is, I like it so much and it resonates with me so much, is because that's what it is. If you just have motion every day, like I say in every freaking podcast, because I fucking love it, you're going to achieve it. It's going to happen. It's not going to not happen. And not letting self-doubt control you is what will set you free. Letting self-doubt control you is what will essentially lead to depression because it's just going to get worse. It's never going to get better. Listening to that voice is never going to do anything but harm. going against that voice is never going to do anything but good. You're going to learn or you're going to get better. So look at the cards you're dealt. You either stay in the same spot, become a bitch to your thoughts, or you move on, take a chance, doesn't work, go back, same spot, take a chance again, doesn't work, okay, cool, go back, take a chance again, and now you move forward. Or you just win straight up and you move forward anyway. So really think about that when you think of those thoughts or you feel those thoughts, whether it is to start a gym or not start a gym, get in the gym or start a business or something like that. Really think about it. You are in a spot that you're probably not happy with in some regard of your life, or you're scared to do something in your life because of self-doubt. The worst place you can end up after doing it is in the same fucking spot. So you have nothing to lose. That voice isn't real. Just honestly, find something that makes you feel comfortable with facing self-doubt head on. Whether that is, I don't know, the explanation about school. Whether that is that and you just find comfort in realizing, oh yeah, true. Like I do talk to 10 people in a group that are my friends every day and it's fine. But why can I not talk to 10 people that I don't know? Why is that nerve-wracking? Oh, it's self-doubt. It's not real. Okay, cool. Or I go to the gym every day and I've got a physical representation that if I'm consistent in something and I believe in the process and endure a process to get somewhere, I'm going to get it. I've got a physical representation of this. Okay, cool. Well, then in my business life, if I just apply the same principles, I'm going to get there and not listen to my brain, not listen to my self-doubt, then I'm going to get there. That's how it's going to work. And that is how it works. That's how life works. Those who achieve great things are those who don't listen to their fears, don't define themselves by their fears. They just go all in on whatever it is they want to do and don't give a fuck. They're no different to you. They're not a different human being. They just don't listen to their brain. They have a mentality that knows, okay, this is what I want. What do I have to do to get it? I need to do this. I don't give a fuck what my brain says to me, what my anxiety is telling me. I'm going to do it, because if I don't do it, I'm going to stay in the same spot and I'm not going to move anywhere. So what is worse? Not doing anything and staying in the same spot, or doing something and then going back to the same spot. So yeah, essentially that's my view when it comes to self-doubt. And yeah, there's a lot of things that can help you navigate it. But it's something that everyone deals with, and it's realizing that everyone deals with. Anyone that says that they don't is fucking lying, or they're just not doing anything with their life, essentially. But even if they're not doing anything with their life, they're still dealing with self-doubt. And people have different levels of self-doubt, I would say. Some people have such major levels of self-doubt that they get so scared or so nervous to even talk to someone because they don't do it often. So that now becomes like an internal fear or an internal anxiety inside of them. See how it's a pattern? The things that you don't do and the things that you don't face are the things that you'll be scared of. So like I said, everyone has different thresholds of anxiety control or self-doubt control. And if you literally do nothing with your life, yes, you probably will be afraid to talk to different people or be very, very socially awkward, because you don't push yourself in those, you don't put yourself in those situations to even give yourself a chance to know if you can do it, or don't even try to pursue those, I don't know, get rid of those fears. You don't do anything about it. You just stay in the same spot. So literally the only way to navigate it is as hard as it is. You just have to go into it. You just have to face it head on and just know that it's just a voice in your brain. It's not gonna change anything in your life, you know? But essentially, like, I just think, yeah, people need to realize that everyone struggles with it. It's not just them. I'm very bad with self-doubt. I struggle with it. Some days I get it extremely bad, you know? I'll sit there and be like, what am I doing, bro? You know, I work at a retail store. I work at Satmar. Yeah, I own a clothing brand. Yeah, I own a videography business. Why can't I just stick to one thing? Why isn't something in my life, why isn't my clothing brand extremely successful? Why? Like, is it because I'm not good enough? Am I not good enough at this stuff? Do I not know something? Why haven't I blown up on YouTube? Or why is my podcast not got heaps of views? Is it because I'm not good enough? Is it because I haven't done anything? I feel that all the fucking time. But I know that me letting that control me, or me sitting here and being like, yeah, you know, yeah, that's right. I'm not good enough to do a podcast. What the fuck's that going to do? What is that going to do, Miles? Nothing. You're going to stay in the same spot. And that'll be the same with you listening to this right now. You wanting to do something and you're too scared to do it? Well, guess what, mate? You're going to stay in the same spot. You're not going to move. And yeah, I feel it all the time, all the fucking time. This new drop, this new shirt that you probably are seeing me watch, this is part of the new drop. You don't think that I'm even a little bit sitting here self-doubting myself? Like, do you think you can really sell out this drop as well? Round 2, you think I can do it? Fucking oath I can. I've done it before. I'll do it again. Cool. Whereas before, my first drop, I was even worse because I have no results or haven't faced that fear yet, or that fear essentially, to prove to myself that no, I can do it. But yeah, it's self-doubt is essentially tied to fear. And that's why I say your fear are your limits. What you're scared of doing is where you will stay. And I stayed at the same spot for 4 or 5 months after my apprenticeship because I was so scared to do anything. And that was because I self-doubt myself and I let that self-doubt control me. And I stayed in the same fucking spot. So yeah, that's just how I look at it. If you don't face it, you're going to stay in the same spot and it's going to keep controlling you and it's going to keep getting worse until you do something about it. Sometimes it takes a point of it getting so bad to where someone is like, okay, it literally can't get any worse than this. The only way I can go is through it. And then they go through it and they realize, oh, cool, wasn't that bad. But then another problem comes up and then they do the same thing. And that's what people essentially do that don't really get very far in their personal life. Because I look at life as like a little game. As stupid as it sounds, I've said it before, but it's like a little game, like your own little character. You get to build your life however you want and whatever you do in your life and how hard you work or whatever it is you do on the daily basis will dictate who you are in the next 3, 4 years, 5 years. Like, so if you implement daily habits like going to the gym and like running and eating healthy and doing all the stuff, you don't think in 3 years you're going to look good or you're going to be self-confident. Or if you start a business now and constantly go at it for 3, 4 years, you don't think in 3 years or 4 years you're going to be at least somewhere different to where you are now. You know what I mean? So it's like, that was me, just like in my jobs, just too afraid to do anything, and I stayed the same. So yeah, moral of the story, don't listen to your self-doubt. It's not real. It's bullshit. It's a voice in your head that don't let it control you. It's not going to do anything. You're not going to die. You're still going to be here the next day, and you're still going to wake up in the morning and probably have another chance to go get it. But if you do nothing, you will be nothing, and you'll stay the same spot as you are right now. So yeah, I just thought I'd just come in here and talk about self-doubt because honestly, I put on my Instagram story today actually for some things that people wanted to talk about, and people like to hear about the whole self-doubt or confidence thing. A couple of people said like about motion and stuff like that, and I wanted to talk, obviously I want to talk about my business and how it's going and stuff, but I think I just want to provide as much value as I can in this episode by myself. I think it's good when me and Malia talk about it because it's more like me and her are like obviously the couple doing it. But if it's just me or it's just her, like I'd rather us provide value to you guys. Primarily, that's my focus with these solo episodes than trying to like, I guess, talk about my business and stuff like that. Because yeah, it's cool. We own a clothing brand. Cool. Yeah. Like this week we've got a lot of ad campaigns that we're filming for the new drop, but there's also a lot of problems that have come with this new drop that you'll probably see on my YouTube, or you probably already have seen by the time this episode's up. But yeah, and it can be stressful, you know, but I just think if we always talk about the business, it's just, you know, what's the point of the podcast? Am I just going to sit here and talk about my business? So yeah, quite a lot of people were telling me to talk about the business, and some people were telling me to talk about discipline. A lot of people want me to talk about discipline for some reason. I genuinely think it's a very simple thing. I'll touch on it a bit, but I genuinely think it's a very simple thing. It's just, you need to realize that almost like the same as before, like if you do nothing, you're going to be nothing. So what's worse, not doing something because you can't be fucked, or doing something and getting somewhere? Like not doing something and then say you don't want to go to the gym, you can't be fucked, you're on your phone on TikTok. Okay, mate. So what's going to do more for your life? You sitting on your phone and scrolling on TikTok, or you going to the gym? Really ask yourself that. Who do you want to be in 5 years? Because if you sit on your phone and scroll on your fucking phone, guess what you're going to be doing in 5 years? The same fucking thing, mate. So that's how I look at it. You need to, actually also back to the self-doubt and the anxiety. I think a lot of it is perspective. Like, I almost use my anxiety to fuel me. I fucking petrify myself all the time. I get nervous as fuck about shit, but I just use it to fuel me because I'm just like, okay, well, I have anxiety about failing. Use it. I don't want to fail, so I'm going to work fucking hard every day, all day, so I don't fail. So I just use it against itself, essentially. I think we're going a bit off topic, but I'm just going to talk about it anyway. I think energy is energy, whether it's good or bad. You can convert that energy into anything. So if it's good, you can convert it into bad energy if you want. Or if it's bad, like self-doubt, anxiety, you can convert it into good energy if you want by telling yourself, okay, I'm afraid of this, so I'm going to work fucking hard so that this doesn't happen. Okay, cool. So now you work really, really hard because this doesn't happen. A lot of high-level entrepreneurs and high-level achievers are actually extremely quote-unquote insecure people. I wouldn't say insecure, but have a lot of anxiety issues and have a lot of issues with being okay with where they are. So they work so fucking hard to get somewhere because they're so afraid of being stuck in the same place that they are now. And that is essentially me. It's what I'm like. I'm so afraid of being stuck in this position that I am now and not growing that I work so fucking hard, work 3-4 jobs and build motion and do my YouTube and the podcast because I'm afraid of being in the same spot. So I use my anxiety against me. Well, not against me, against itself, essentially. So, yeah, but again, I just kind of fucking divert all the time. But yeah, discipline, I think it's just very simple, bro. Discipline, it's in my opinion, for me, I don't need discipline to go to the gym. I don't need discipline to run. I've built the habit, and now I've got the habit. I've got discipline to essentially, right now at this point in time, where my discipline is coming from is not to get up and go for my run, but running and doing what I'm training for at the moment, it takes discipline to like maintain a pace. Because in the gym, I feel like when it comes down to discipline, what I want to talk about with discipline is if you don't, so discipline in your brain, it's like, hold up, what's the time? All good. Yeah. So discipline is like almost like, I heard someone talk about it, but it's like what would you say? It's like a part in your brain that you train. And the less you train it, the weaker it gets and the weaker your discipline is. Hence why someone that doesn't go to the gym, doesn't eat healthy, doesn't do any sort of like performance stuff or any sort of stuff to benefit themselves, their discipline is probably extremely low. Like if you ask them to show up to the gym 3 days a week, they would fucking struggle. But then you look at someone on a different aspect, which would be like Michael Jordan. You tell him to go to the gym 3 days a week, he's probably going 12. And he's probably eating healthy. And he's probably getting 8-9 hours of sleep a night. And he's probably not drinking alcohol. Where someone would struggle so much to even go to the gym 3 days a week because they don't train that muscle. So it's like a muscle in your brain. You got to train it. And you've got to understand that pain essentially is growth. If you don't feel pain or you don't feel discomfort, you're not growing. So when I'm running and I'm running at a pace and I'm like, holy fuck, this is hard. I've worked out this morning. I did legs this morning and now I'm on a fucking 6-7K run at like I'm doing intervals and I'm like fucking dying. I'm just thinking to myself, okay, if I give up right now, I'm giving in to my brain and my thoughts. That is now inherently going to make my discipline worse. Inherently, that is now going to make everything in my life worse because my discipline in every area of my life is going to be worse. It's a muscle that you have to train and constantly push to maintain. If you don't do that, then you'll lose it. It will go away. You'll start losing discipline. This is why people get into the gym. They do well for 3 months and then they stop going. They go on holiday and then they come back and then they can't get into the gym. They can't go again because their discipline went out the window. It went gone. See you later. Now they've got no discipline. They can build that discipline up a lot quicker than someone that hasn't had it before because it's like a muscle memory thing. But discipline is like a muscle in your brain. You build it up. You do hard things. You train it. You get better at it. You can do shit at high levels, become a better version of you at an extremely fast rate compared to a lot of people because they don't want to feel that discomfort. Discomfort is growth. Discomfort is what will make you better. You need to understand that. Once you understand that and you sit in this pool of when you do feel discomfort, you're telling yourself, this is what growth feels like. Do I want to be better or do I want to be a bitch? Ask yourself that. And if you want to be a bitch, go be a bitch. But I guarantee 5-10 minutes once you've calmed down after that run or once you've went home for that gym session, are you going to feel good, mate? You're going to sit in that car driving home, you're going to feel good? You're going to sit in that shower after that run, you're going to feel good because you didn't complete the last 3Ks? Ask yourself that, bro. So what's worse, the pain of not finishing something or the pain of just sticking it through for another 5-6 minutes? You know, that's how I look at discipline. It's just a muscle that you train. But yeah, a lot of people on this like Q&A thing that I put on my stories wanted me to talk about motion. But yeah, I just thought I'd talk about something a little bit different, self-doubt and a bit of like discipline in that, because I just think it's something that's very relatable that people could maybe pick something up off my aspect of it, like how I navigate it and what I do. I would say I am a relatively disciplined person. I do double training sessions 3 days a week. I don't cheat on my diet. I track all my calories. I don't drink alcohol. I work a lot. I run 2 businesses and I have like 3 jobs. So I'd say I'm decently disciplined. That doesn't mean I'm any better than you. It doesn't mean I'm any different to you. It just means that I train that muscle more than you. And I know the feeling of growth and I just head on and go in it head first. I know the feeling of self-doubt and I just face it head first. You could probably do more than me if you did that. Like, you know, like I'm just a normal person and so is every other successful person you know. They're no different to me and they're no different to you. So you just need to realize that. A lot of people another thing I wanted to talk about is a lot of people say in the gym and stuff, they'll put me, I guess, like now that I've got motion, I've done stuff with motion, they put me on a little bit of like, I don't know, a pedestal, whatever it is, like pedestal. Oh, fuck knows what it is. See, I'm a dumb cunt. Don't even know how to pronounce the word. But yeah, they'll put me on a bit of like a hierarchy, like, oh, that's Miles. I'm like, bro, I'm just normal. Like you're the same person as me. Even if I had 1 million followers, if I saw someone with 1 million followers, in my brain, I'm like, that's just a normal person. They just have a number on their Instagram. Like, I will never act like someone better than someone just because of what I've done or what I've achieved, because I'm not. Anyone can fucking do it. It's just knowing how to navigate self-doubt and discipline and all these certain areas of life and your mentality, and that's what will get you there. I'm no expert at it, but I've done something with it. I used to be overweight and insecure and not really be able to do much in my life, and at least now I've done at least something with it, you know? And it's all just from navigating those few things, I guess. But yeah, essentially people will come up to me and say that and I'm just like, bro, me and Malia are just normal people, bro. Like, I promise you to God, I could have 1 million followers and I will still say the same thing. Like, I'm just some kid that just has a clothing brand and stuck to one thing for a long enough time and now it is something. Or I'd make good videos because I stuck to it for a long enough time and I created for a lot of people and I've had a lot of experience, so therefore I can create good videos. If you had the same amount of hours under your belt when it comes to marketing and social media, I guarantee you would probably be the same, if not better than me. So yeah, like, it's all just doing stuff consistently. That's what will separate you from the pack, essentially. It's what people can't do. People cannot be consistent. It's just what everyone struggles to do. It's what will separate you from the pack. Not listening to your self-doubt, being disciplined, and chasing your dreams and going into your fears is all you need to do to be successful and get ahead in life, in my opinion. I don't think it's very hard. I think you can look at TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, all this stuff. There is so much noise. There's so much fucking noise and distraction and all this stuff that people use to almost escape their reality and forget about their reality. And I don't know, essentially, yeah, just forget about their reality, that they don't do anything. They'll come home from work and just do nothing. But like, you work 8 hours, mate. Like, you've still got so much time. And yes, mate, I'm probably got tradies here listening to me and they're like, yeah, but I've got a fuck trade. But like I did a trade and as well, and I did videos and did YouTube and did all this stuff when I was doing my trade. I think it's a bit different when you're a FIFO worker. If you're FIFO and you're up for 12 hours and you're in the fucking butt fucking nowhere, it's a bit different. But yeah, there's always opportunities to build stuff for your life. You come home for a week and a bit, or a week, you still got now a whole week to do something, you know. But yeah, I'm essentially going a little bit off topic. But yeah, I just think that if I had no self-doubt, even now, if I had no self-doubt now, self-doubt still holds me back. I don't push through it all. Like, there's some stuff that I want to do with motion. There's some things that I'm afraid of doing. and I haven't done yet, or I haven't done to the best of my ability yet because of self-doubt. Like, it's something that it's just a learning curve. It's just going to take time for me personally to learn how to navigate it fully and get rid of it fully. But I don't think that you'll fully get rid of it, because I think it's just a natural thing. Like, it's just, you just get better at dealing with it. Everyone feels anxiety and all these things. You just get better at dealing with it, essentially. That's why I guess you can see some of these crazy rich business people, and they're just so, I don't know, I'd say antisocial. They don't know how to conversate because all they do is work. So they haven't learnt the skill of conversation when it's such a simple fucking thing. But yeah, I am rambling a bit. This video will probably be a shorter video as I don't have much time. I've actually only got a few minutes until I have to shoot off to work after this little podcast. But yeah, today was a bit of a hectic day, as most of you would probably know if you follow my YouTube. The supplier screwed up my drop very bad when it comes to the singlets, and I wasn't too happy. So spent majority of the day conversating with him, telling him that he needs to give me my singlets the way I ordered them, and he's doing it now. Obviously, he's fine with it. But yeah, shit went AWOL a bit. Don't know why they did it the way they did. If you saw it on my YouTube, they fucked it up pretty bad. I probably could still sell some of them, but that's just not who I am. I'm not going to cheap out on some shit. Only a few of them are bad, but I don't care. It's just not who I am. I'm not going to fucking sit here and be like, oh, it's only a few of them that are bad. Like, nah, fuck that, bro. You fucked them up. Fix them. I want them all fixed to how I want and how I ordered them. And that was essentially what I had to do majority of the day today. So yeah, I don't have too much time to film this podcast. I apologize if it is a very small one. I had to literally just think of a topic that I struggled with, and I know people will struggle with, and winged it essentially. So I put it on my story this morning to ask people to just give me topics they want to hear. And I don't know, self-doubt and discipline and stuff like that is what seemed to come up. So it's what I talked about. I always talk about motion. Just thought I'd, switch it up for you listeners. But yeah, I hope you are all enjoying your new year and everything is going well in the new year for you guys. It'll probably be a couple of weeks into the new year by the time this is out. So yeah, I hope you guys are going after stuff and not letting your self-doubt and other things like that, internal thoughts control you, because they're not real. But yeah, if you guys do ever have any questions about stuff like this or want any advice, please do not hesitate to message me on Instagram. I love hearing from you all. If you would like to let me know how you think of the podcast, how it has been, if you have been listening to it over a long period of time, that would also be great. I'd really appreciate you guys letting me know some feedback, especially on the YouTube and the podcast, because I want to get better at it and I want to provide the most value for the people listening. So yeah, if you could even message me after hearing this and just let me know what you think of the podcast and how you have been finding it and what you find value in, that's good, because then I know what to create for people to make it better for other people to listen to. So yeah, I'm probably going to end the episode off there. I've got a couple of minutes until I have to shoot off to work. So yeah, hope the new year is treating you well and everything is going well in your life. You're chasing your dreams. You're not letting doubt and fear control your life, and you are becoming the best version of yourself in 2025, because 2026 will be here with a blink of an eye. Just like 2024, it was over just like that. So yeah, time is precious. Use it wisely and chase your dreams. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I love you all. Appreciate you for listening to getting to the end. And I hope you learned something today. I will see you probably next week with Malia, talking some shit about motion probably. See you then. Thank you.